Okay, this is part 2 of piecing the grandmother's flower garden together. Make sure that you go see part 1. Now, I do have step-by-step tutorials on this separate from this. This tutorial is to show a little bit of, go into a little more depth explanation of it all. These will be on my playlist for Grandmother's Flower Garden as well. And so what we're going to do is we're going to start with what our center is going to be. And so you got to have your center. And then so we have this. We know we're going to need 6 that go here. So this is how I'm going to do my layout. So this is going to be my center. And then I'm going to have that one. And then I'm going to do that one. And so I'm just going to interchange. You can do a layout however you want to do it. Nope, it's going to go there. And that one's going to go there. And so then I have a couple extra. I'm not going to do the whole flower. I'm just going to kind of show you a few things, and we'll go from there. So this is how I know I want my layout to be. And so I'm going to move these aside, and we're going to start with, this is my center. I'm going to flip it over. Yes, you have to mark every one for this. I'm sorry if I'm getting loud. I don't mean to get loud. Just turn your volume down. And so what we're going to do now is, I'm going to get my little finger things on here. We are going to sew from this where my lines meet point to this point where my lines meet. And I'm just going to do a basic stitch. And so I'm going to start right at that point. And then I'm just going to make sure you guys can see it. So I don't measure how close I get my stitches. The ladies that taught me, they were not concerned with that. They just told me to stay consistent within time. Your stitches, you will get used to it. Your stitches will get closer and closer as you go. I have noticed in the 15 years that I have been doing it that my sewing does get better. And so don't worry about that. Just stay consistent. So we're at that point, and so I'm going to tie off. I just do 3 back stitches. You can, if you don't want to just do 3 back stitches, I find that I get knots when I do this, but you can also take your thread in between if you want, and then we're just going to cut our threads. Okay, so we have our first 2 hexagons sewed together. Okay, so now we're going to I finger press. Don't come at me. Iron police, stay away. So I finger press. I don't press anything when it comes to my quilts. Yes, people come at me all the time. So now we know we've got the first 2. This is my center. This is my next outside. So I know that I need to go to my right. So it's going to be my next one. So I'm going to flip this. And this is the next one that I want to do. I want to do a pink. So I'm going to flip this, and I'm going to match that up with my points like so. And yes, this video is going to get a little longer, and I'm sorry for that. Just bear with me. And so then we're going to do what we've done again. We're going to start where the points meet. Don't worry about your stitching. I'm just doing just make sure you go all the way to the back. It comes through on the other side. So when I get down here to the end, I want to make sure that I do not sew on top of this piece here. So I kind of just pull it just a little bit, and then I have to hold it down with my finger. And then I do my knot. I go all the way to the end, and then I do my knot. My back stitch, knot, whatever you want to do. Actually, I didn't need to do that. This was the trick I was going to show you. So this was the trick. I didn't need to do the knot. So scratch that. So I'm going to flip it. This is where, that was just extra stitching. So I'm going to flip this, okay? When I get there, pull this out, okay? Do not get this in that. Get your thread out here. And then I'm going to start right where I left off. So you just really just locked it down just a little bit right there. So it's not going to hurt anything. You just secured it a little more. And then I'm going to take off sewing. And this is just so you didn't have to do that knot right there. And I'll do another one. I'll make another video because I think this is getting really long. I might just go ahead and do it in this video anyway. So we're going to go all the way down till we get to our point, and then we're going to tie it off again. So anytime you have a question about hand piecing or hand quilting, don't hesitate to come in my live. I'm live normally every evening and on Saturdays. Don't hesitate to come in my live. Sometimes I'm not, but just come ask questions. If I don't know the answer, I'll tell you I don't know. If I can help you, this is how we learn. And so then we have our first two together. Now we have our first two together, so we're going to, you can press it however you want to press it. If you want, however you want your seams to lay, you just pick how you want. That's what the back of my sewing looks like. And so now we're going to move, because we did this, so now we're going to move to this, and then we're going to do this side. I'm going to go to part 3.